What's happening, HC Nation? Hey, Zach Edwards here with another Stump the Creator. So we actually took a little bit of break because of Christmas break, and it just took us a little while to get back into this. So thanks for being patient. We're going to start doing these more often. Right now, I have to thank two people for really pushing me to get this done. That is Gabe and Cole. So you guys, thank you so much for doing this. As you know, from the last time we did this and the first time we've done it for a long time, that one time we had both Cole and Gabe. Actually, I think there's two videos. Both of them got honorable mentions. I think Gabe might have stumped me. I think it was more of an honorable mention. So as we go, we've got a lot of Cole's and a lot of Gabe questions, but I need questions from everyone. So please keep sending them my way. Please send them to Zach at historicalconquest.com. But yeah, we're going to answer any questions that you might have. And if you stump me, I will send you a gift. If you come close, I'll send you an honorable mention. Now, there are some rules within this because it's not just by me not actually getting the answer does not mean that I'm actually stumped. It might be that there's a lot of different things to have to talk about when it comes to an answer. But if I literally do not have an answer to the question, that's when you stump me. The other ones are more like something that you might get a honorable mention or such. But here's the other part of the rules. I don't look at the questions before I answer them. So I'm actually seeing them the first time as I'm reading them to you. So I apologize for my reading abilities. It's not the best in the world, but it is, it is what it is. So thank you so much for joining me today, and let's get into the first question. This comes from Gabe. If my opponent plays Julius and Ethel Rosenberg in my land, and it's been around since, can I still reverse them? Or can I only do that when they're played? Great question. Okay, so let's bring up the card. Here it is. Okay, so Julius and Ethel Rosenberg, who were they? They were spies, espionage. That's what they like to do. They were all part of espionage during the Cold War. So they were convicted in 1951 of passing atomic secrets to the Soviet Union. And they were sentenced to death and execution. I guess that's basically the same thing, except that it's death and executed, by the electric chair. Okay, so this is in 1953. This sparked a lot of controversy. There was a big, what they call a Red Scare. The Red Scare is basically, they thought communists were all throughout the U.S. government. And actually there were a good amount, but McCarthy, a congressman, I think it was congressman or senator, was actually on a hunt for communists inside the U.S. government. And so he's been ostracized by it. The actual reasoning to doing it was probably a good thing, but there were some things that he did that were not so good. We'll actually go over that when we get to the Cold War, because we're actually doing a curriculum, a full textbook and adventure box on the Cold War. It's going to be amazing because this is everything from like spaceships and the atomic bomb and so forth. So all these different things and going to the moon. So there's a lot of things that have to do this. And I don't remember a lot of the history around that, but I will, and I'll teach it to you guys. But let's go back to the actual question. Okay, so as you can see, this is an interrupt, constant, infinite card. It says in the question, if my opponent plays the Rosenbergs in my land, and it's been around since they played, can I still reverse them? Or can I only do that when they're played? Okay, so let's go into the actual card itself. So here it says play this card on an opponent's land. Great. You can use every technology card that opponent plays. Only an opponent may remove their card. Okay, that's great. Okay, so let's talk about what a reverse would be. Okay, so play this card on an opponent's land. If it's after the first round and somebody tries to reverse it, what would happen? Okay, you can use every technology card that opponent plays. Okay, so if my opponent played this card down, and I'm able to reverse it, because it's a constant and an infinite, means it continues to go, you can reverse those cards. So I've actually never had this question before, which is quite interesting. So I'm trying to think of the ramifications that would actually come from that. And I'm thinking Gabe actually might have some ramifications that I haven't even thought of, which is why it's called Stump the Creator, because he can play this card and then also, or ask this question, and then all of a sudden ask another question based off what I just said. But since this is a constant and infinite, I can see both sides, where, well, they already played it and it's already in play, so you can't really reverse it. But, because there's probably other cards that have to do with that. But, because it's a constant infinite, can I reverse it? And now every technology card that the opponent has, I can play. Okay, so here's why I will say yes for this card. And I'm not going to say it's yes for every single card, because I haven't gone through all the ramifications. Again, not a stump, just an intriguing thought, which is why, Gabe, you're a genius for bringing this up. And you have a bunch of other questions that you're a genius on too. But for this reason, I would say yes, you can reverse it, because the opponent is the only an opponent may reverse their card. Only an opponent may remove their card. Let's see, an opponent. So if your opponent, if this card is played in an opponent's land, oh wow. So you can't actually remove it. Let's see. Play this card in your opponent's land. You can use every technology card that opponent plays. Only an opponent may remove their card. So when you play it down, you can't remove it. Only somebody else can. So normally, someone would say, well, I'm just going to remove that card. Because again, one more time, I'm going to read this one more time through. Play this card in an opponent's land. That means you're giving up this card to someone else's land. Now, sometimes you're the one that controls it. Now, you can use every technology card, that means you, that the opponent plays. Only an opponent may remove their card. Wait a minute. Only an opponent may remove their card. So, it's the opponent that I can actually remove that card from the... This almost says, okay, I can reverse it. Yeah, that'd be great. And then that opponent controls them. Wow. Truthfully, I'd say this is probably badly worded. Maybe we need to go back and reestablish this card, because it says play an opponent's land, and then only an opponent may remove their card. That means the opponent that you put the card into that land can remove that card. I'm going to go with badly worded. I will take credit for that. But at the same time, to answer your question, if it's a constant and an infinite, almost every time you can actually reverse that card and the abilities. Though I cannot say it for everyone. Let's just say, for this card, yes, you can. Please send me a card where it's a constant and infinite that if we reversed it, it wouldn't really work, or it would have a hard time, or such. Like this one, an opponent may remove that card. Well, if you play it down, they're automatically going to remove it. But you can use the technology card for that one round. You play it down, they can do it for one round. But afterwards is the consequence. You can't remove it. If someone can actually reverse that back on you, then they can start stealing all of that technology card. But if they don't have a reverse at the time, they're going to be waiting a long time and sharing all the technology cards that opponent has. Wow, this is a really cool conundrum. I actually don't know if I want to change this card, because it has all those intricacies that if you played it right, you could actually, that opponent could take advantage of it. I'm going to say it's still badly worded. When we redo it, I will probably change out the only an opponent may remove this card, may remove their card. I'm going to say only the original player can remove that card. But if you have this card, do not change it. This is the rules for that card. I'm going to actually change it now so I can actually make sure that it's changed in the future so that we don't have this question in the future. But Gabe, that was an awesome question. Please, everyone, send me your your Stump the Creator questions. You used to be all over this. I need to have your questions. I have one other person, and there's Gabe, there's Cole, and one other person now, and I'll be introducing them probably next week. Send in your questions. I need them because I want to give you some sort of benefit from it. So, until next time, thank you so much for joining us, and we will catch you next time. Take care. Bye. If you have any comments or questions, add them to the comments below. Otherwise, we'll see you tomorrow, actually. Take care. Bye.